This is Autoline Daily reporting on all aspects of the global automotive industry. Before we get into the news today, we would like to ask you a question. At Autoline, we try to give you good insights as to what's going on in the automotive industry. We have our ideas on what's important, but we'd like to get your ideas too. So, what do you like about Autoline Daily? What don't you like? What would you like to see more of? We're open to any and all suggestions, and you can put them in the comments section or send an email to viewermail@autoline.tv. We very much value your input, and we're looking for good ideas. Okay, now to the news. Just as everyone expected, the UAW decided to strike against General Motors, with 46,000 union workers walking off the job. GM said it negotiated with a sense of urgency and was disappointed that the union chose to strike. That suggests union officials were more preoccupied with corruption charges against union officials than with bargaining. The Detroit News reports that there was a high-level union meeting on Friday to remove Gary Jones, the union president, from office. He has been implicated in the corruption scandal. While the UAW did keep Jones in place, the union officials in that meeting were definitely not at the bargaining table with GM. General Motors says it offered the union over $7 billion in investments in U.S. plants, including a battery cell manufacturing plant in Ohio. It said it had solutions for 2 assembly plants that were closed in Lordstown, Ohio, and Detroit, Michigan, with the latter maybe getting new products allocated to it. In total, GM said it would create 5,400 more UAW jobs, increase wages, improve profit sharing, and pay a ratification bonus of $8,000. The union rejected that, but this may be more about UAW leaders wanting to show the rank and file they're looking out for their interests despite all the corruption charges. Wall Street says the strike may be more symbolic than strategic, and if that's the case, it will not last too long. Merrill Lynch says GM is likely to get strong support from investors to take a tough stance with the union. And the strike will definitely be a hardship on union members. Most of them earn about $1,200 a week, but their strike pay is only $250 a week, meaning they're losing nearly $1,000 a week while on strike. Well, here's our Autoline insight. Why is the union only paying $250 a week? It has a reported $721 million in its strike fund. That's enough to pay them for 62 weeks, well over a year. But the strike's never going to last that long, so why not pay them more? Well, here's a concept car we sure wish that we could get in and drive. The Mercedes 35 PS is considered by some as the first modern car, and the Vision Mercedes Simplex is a modern interpretation of that car. 4 large wheels bolt to the 2-seater's monocoque body, and the radiator grille is actually a 3D display that shows information on the vehicle status. And the driver is shown only the information that they need on a digital instrument panel. Mercedes will never make the Simplex, but it sure would be cool to see it roll down the road with other modern cars. President Trump wants to freeze U.S. fuel economy standards at 2022 levels, and Ward's Auto reports that the Canadian government may decide to adopt California's standard instead. Historically, Canada pretty much has always adopted the U.S. standards, but Canada may join Ford, BMW, Honda, and Volkswagen in supporting California's standard. The interior technology in cars is rapidly changing, especially in luxury cars, but there's one item that has not changed at all in decades: sun visors. They're the same shape and they've always been, and they pretty much use the same materials. So a company called Design HMI created a translucent visor made from the same material as sunglasses. The visor can be set to a custom tint, anywhere from 10% visibility to 70% at night. It even offers an optional HUD system to show speed and direction. You can even pair the visor with your smartphone or through the OBD port. Design HMI plans to offer this in the 2020 model year.
Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone Tires, your journey, our passion, and by Keycurt, technology that leads.
We've got some personnel changes to report on. Karim Habib recently left as head of design at Infiniti to go to Kia. Replacing Habib at Infiniti is Taisuke Nakamura. He's responsible for concepts including the QX Inspiration, Prototype 10, and Q's Inspiration. He'll report to Alfonso Albaisa, who's the Senior Vice President of Nissan Global Design. And in related news, General Motors named Harry Zi Director of Design at its China Advanced Design Studio in Shanghai. The studio is responsible for creating concept and new energy vehicles for China and other markets. Prior to joining GM, Zi was the director of BMW's DesignWorks Shanghai studio. And you'll remember that Audi CEO Rupert Stadler was forced to step down in June as part of VW's diesel scandal. He will be replaced by Markus Duesmann, who was previously an engine development expert at BMW. And with that, we wrap up today's show. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow.